I was raised in a very conservative home. I grew up going to church, a small little Baptist church with my whole family, and all of my cousins were there, my aunts and uncles. And in that regard, I really loved it. But it was legalistic. It was a Baptist church, and I didn't feel that relational aspect of God. It felt like God was the king and we are his subjects, and if you obey him and you accept his son, you go to heaven. But there was nothing about love. There was nothing about him adoring his children. Forgiveness of sin kind of seemed in the background. Until I was a senior in high school, my church brought in a new youth pastor, and he was incredible. He's still there, actually, and he's wonderful, but he really made the Bible come alive. He made it fun. He made Jesus seem like appealing. And in that time, actually, I heard from God that I was going to be an evangelist, a fisher of men. In comes freshman year of college and a whole taste of freedom that I was not used to, and I lost my way. I forgot that I wanted to pursue the Lord, and instead I got caught up in partying and drinking. And my sophomore year of college, I was dating this guy, and we had actually just broken up when I found out that I was pregnant. And I was terrified. I was devastated. I was mad, but I was scared. I was so afraid of disappointing my parents. I was so afraid of messing up my life. I didn't want to have a child without a dad. I could give you 1,000 reasons why I didn't want to keep that baby. And so I had an abortion, and I didn't tell anybody. I went by myself, carrying that on my own. I became depressed. I cried a lot. I think my parents knew something was going on, but they had no idea. 2 years later, when I was 22 years old, I got pregnant again. And it was like Groundhog's Day. It was the same scenario 2 years later. And I didn't tell my parents, and again went by myself and took care of it. And I was so ashamed, and I was so angry with myself for letting this happen again. Who would do that twice? And it was after another breakup that I just threw my hands up in the air and said, God, I need you to be real. And I would dive into my Bible and I would pray, sobbing, asking God to heal my heart, to make me new. And I wanted him to be good on his promises, that he would make me a new person, and that he would forgive me of my sins and trade my ashes for beauty. And he did all of those things. And I got baptized again. That day, my dad presented me with a promise ring. 26 years old and had just been baptized, and I'm already a weepy mess because I'm just so excited about this new life. My dad gives me this beautiful promise ring, and it was just so cool to see our relationship restored. And I wore that ring until the day that I got married. I have a 14-month-old baby, so I've seen redemption play out in so many different ways in my life, and I've seen God's goodness, and I've seen his promises, and I just couldn't be more thankful. I know what hopelessness feels like. I know what it feels like to have disappointed those that you love. But the truth is, there's redemption for everyone. There's redemption for you. And the pain of your past is just the beginning of your story. And God wants to use your brokenness to help others find freedom in Him.